First and 10 from the Renegades. 28 yards.
Let's all go to Berkeley House and be all day, baby. Red, red, red.
Second and 5.
We have Ghibli Dew and Rhett Sawyer. Handoff goes to J.W. Doyle. He's going to pound forward for a first down or more. Made a defender look silly with a lowered shoulder. That was Kanye Rockefeller, who came up from the safety spot up to make the tackle.
And that's something they're going to need to have a lot of today, trying to just confuse the Tulsa defense and getting this running game started.
Here is a check down to Doyle behind the line of scrimmage, and he'll just get 3 yards. Good coverage downfield by the Tulsa defense. And both of these defenses have been pretty maligned all through the season. What does the Tulsa defense have to do today to slow down Deacon Nickens and the rest of the Oklahoma City offense?
They're just going to have to win the turnover battle, I feel.
And 2nd and 7, Nickens to the near side. That pass is complete. Over to Hunter Jones, making his first catch of the day. Get down to a 3rd and 2, coming up at the Oklahoma City 48. And for the Oklahoma City offense, it's going to be important to spread the ball around. And early on, Deacon Nickens has done that very well. He hasn't even gone to his favorite target, Tiberius Bovine, yet. They may do that here on 3rd and 2, and they're going to get a first down anyway as Tulsa jumps offside, but they're going to go for the throat shot down the middle of the field. Pass complete to Deezer Powell, well into Tulsa territory, and I'm pretty sure this penalty is going to be declined.
Number 95, defense, the penalty.
I mean, when you have a free play like this, I mean, you have no fear of anything going awry because it'll just get turned back if something bad were to happen. So I agree with going down the field there like they did.
Apologies for the spotty opening commentary-wise. I am Michael Truilo, your play-by-play commentator, joined by Levant Mercer up in the booth here at Greenwood District Stadium in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Oklahoma City and Tulsa, and going deep is Nickens. One-on-one coverage, and it's knocked away. Nello Barber makes his first, Nate Heslip makes his first contribution to the game. And there are the two corners for Tulsa, Nate Heslip and Kyler Murray. It's going to be really important for them to get blanket coverage on these star outside receivers for Oklahoma City today. 2nd down and 10. Nickens looking, fires down the field, has a man in the seam on the near side. That's a touchdown. Put it on the board. Hunter Jones scores the first touchdown of the game, and it goes Oklahoma City's way.
You know, as soon as you went and mentioned it, it just went bit us, didn't it? Look at it again. Just absolutely burnt on the route there. I don't know what Epsop was looking at. He just let his man slip right by him, and Jones had an easy score.
Charles Ball had a chance to make a tackle there on the sideline inside the 10. Could not bring him down via the ankle tackle. And Hunter Jones scurried into the end zone to put 6 points up. And Johnny Omega now on the field to attempt the extra point. The commentator's curse strikes the cornerbacks of Tulsa here on the first drive. And the extra point is up and good. 8:57 to go, first quarter. Oklahoma City 7, Tulsa nothing. This is the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube. A statement of intent early on by the Oklahoma City offense, Levant.
Yes, that seems to be the case, and Oklahoma really needed that score there because in the past couple games they haven't seemed to have been getting the ball moving.
The return for Tulsa out to the 31-yard line. Charles Ball has had a down year, sophomore slump, if you will, both in coverage and returning the ball. And as you were saying, the Oklahoma City offense hasn't generated much of it in the past couple of weeks. Last week only scored 10 points in a 28-10 loss to Houston. And here is Sir Charles Michael Martin. I was a year behind. I was back in season 10. Michael Martin throws to the far side and gets 11 yards and a first down to Sonzo Robinson. Out of the backfield, here is the Tulsa offense. The quarterback is Michael Martin, running back Sonzo Robinson. Wide receivers Andre Godspeed and Stephen Bush. And the other wide out on the other side is Corey Jones, a very talented wide receiving core, but they're going to be in a bunch formation handoff to Sonzo Robinson. He's going to break free. Up the middle, he breaks an ankle tackle, and he could go, and he sheds another tackle down the sideline. 15, 10, 5, put it on the board. Tulsa answers back after only 2 plays, and we're tied.
You know, before the game, you did speak of wanting to see something out of him, and look at this here. He turned on the jets that he used to have as a receiver. Now he got moved to running back, and he shows us he still has the skills. Look at this.
Just did the tackle attempt from Pee Wee Rubens in the open field, then outraced Derek Pounds to the end zone. He's got that track speed. And out of a heavy formation in the middle of the field, we have a Tulsa touchdown.
Just ate him up like a sandwich there. Rubens just hit the turf.
I did mention Sir Charles Robinson. He is their backup quarterback. He was the starter last season. Michael Martin came over from London and beat him out in camp for the starting spot. And he's maintained it all throughout the year. So it's 7-7. Tulsa answers back. 8:11 to go first quarter. This is the SFL. Presented by APM Music on YouTube. And just like that, Deacon Nickens and the rest of the Oklahoma City offense will be back on the field. Kickoff is away. As Hunter Jones has it, he'll take it up just shy of the 30 to the 29. I'm sorry, that's not Hunter Jones, that's Brock Manley doing receiving for the Renegades today. And we mentioned it at the top of the broadcast, Levant, although I'm not sure if it got through to the people listening because of our technical issues that we had. We mentioned that this could be a shootout because both of these defenses have been much maligned throughout the course of the season, and we're seeing it here in the first quarter. As Nickens stands under center, 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line, throws it near side. He's looking for his favorite target, Tiberius Bovine, but that almost was picked off. As Richard Newton, the linebacker, came in and undercut the route.
Well, when Bovine takes up probably over 80% of your targets, I mean, it's an easy route to jump. They did a good job spreading the field on the first drive. I would like to see them go back to that.
Bovine still yet to make a catch, as they'll go with 2 receivers right, single left. And 2nd and 10. Nickens, quick throw to the far side, reverses field and picks up 4 yards on the play to Deezer Powell, who'll go out of bounds at the 33. As you can see the stats on the screen there, he's spreading the ball around well between Jones and Powell. Haven't seen J.W. Doyle make a catch out of the backfield yet. And we've yet to see anything for the tight ends, Brian Pitts and Tiberius Bovine. Nickens down the field, tipped to the air and incomplete. Nate Heslep, who gave up the touchdown on the first drive, making up for it there by forcing a 3-and-out, and on comes the punting unit. Ethan Ellis, the punter.
That just seems to be the case for Oklahoma City all season. They get to 3rd down and can't convert.
Ellis punting from inside his own 20-yard line. Could set up Tulsa in some decent field position. Charles Ball back to return. Hunt is away. It's high, it's far, and it's caught at the 30-yard line, and up to the 34 goes Charles Ball. He's brought down by J.J. Styles, backup wide receiver playing special teams. And we haven't seen much from the Oklahoma City defense yet, considering that their previous drive was 2 plays. One was a first down pass and one was a 60-yard touchdown run. Let's see if Oklahoma City can mix up their coverages here on their second attempt. Here is Santo Robinson again up the middle. He goes cleanly through the defensive line and picks up 5 yards.
Well, there they just didn't have anyone covering the gaps. At each one of the gaps, all 3 of them were just wide open. He just picked one of them and took it through.
Santo Robinson like a kid in a candy store with the gaps to run through here early on in the game. Second down and 5 really opens up the offensive options for you. They're going to go with the pitch to Robinson, and he's eaten up in the backfield. He'll lose a yard as that play was blown up by Elvis Schumacher.
Well, this time they sent him down on a blitz, and they just had it read perfectly the whole way through. Someone missed their block assignment, and there went Schumacher.
And I know the pitch is a debatable topic among SFL coaches. We can talk more about that in a little bit. Now 3rd and 6. Martin alone in the shotgun. The offensive protection breaks down. He gets the pass away. It's out there into double coverage and caught into Oklahoma City territory at the 39-yard line. Danny Knighton comes up with a big grab.
And this is just something you can't do on defense. Look, you have all the pressure in the world. You have the route read. Put your hands up. And since he didn't, Knighton just had a very tough catch. Great job there by him to bring it down.
Brady Clark had his back to the football and did not get the timing correct of wanting to try and knock it down. So the Tulsa drive continues now into plus territory at the 39. Martin under center. He'll take a 3-step drop and throw to the near side. That pass is complete. And that's Damon McIntosh, the tight end, for 3 yards.
So the teams that effectively run the pitch play tend to have a decent lead blocker, whether that be a tight end or be a fullback. Those teams tend to have some extra support. Tulsa does not have one, I don't believe.
Here is Martin on 2nd and 7. He's going all the way down the field. Caught at the 5. Put it on the board. Stephen Bush, the former Renegade, takes his old team to the house. And it's 14-7 Tulsa pending the extra point.
Well, they went back to what they're best known for. They just aired it out. Found the seam right there and just burned them. Absolutely shredded them. There's no one within, like, what, 3-4 yards? It's way too much separation on the wide receiver there. The coverage was blown. The route was just ran perfectly. There was nothing they could do there.
Pee Wee Rubens desperately tried to get back to the football, and it was over his leaping, outstretched hands as Stephen Bush gives Tulsa the lead, and on for the extra point is Andrew Wheeler.
I just think part of what occurred there was just they shaded too much underneath and they just didn't have enough support over the top.
And in the first meeting between these two teams, it happened all the way back at the SFL convention in week 1. It was a thriller of a game with Oklahoma City winning 31-26. Needed a 4th quarter comeback to do it. And in that game, Oklahoma City forced 3 turnovers, and that was the difference in the ball game. Was the Oklahoma City defense, and if they're going to win today, it's going to have to be. But we haven't seen enough of the Renegades defense to confirm that they can do it.
I just think right now they're just being hit with a little too much the good old shock and awe, and I think if they can just find some way on offense to bring the tempo down, when they get back on defense, they probably have something sorted by then.
Well, they went 3 and out last time, and Nickens is going to throw to the far side. That pass is complete. And a first down picked up out to the 39-yard line for Oklahoma City. There is Brian Pitts, the new tight end added right at the deadline.
First and 10.
This is only his third game in a Oklahoma City uniform. First down and 10 at the 39-yard line for Oklahoma City, wearing the bronze helmets and pants, and Nickens is going long on a go route, one-handed catch and breaking a tackle. There he goes, 15-10-5 down the far sideline, put it on the board. Deezer Powell with the touchdown, and we're tied again.
Well, just welcome to the gun show, because these teams are slinging it today. Diesel Powell just powering through this deep. Look at this. One-handed grab and muscles through his defender. No one was stopping him there. Look at it again. Just beautiful with the finesse and the power.
I'm going to say it right now. That is a Play of the Week nominee. Levant, we're still in the first quarter. We've still got almost 5 minutes to go in the first quarter, and we've already got 2 scores each. This is going to be fun.
You know, honestly, you would have believed these teams would have something left to play for with the way they're playing.
Yeah, both of these teams out of the playoff conversation. Tulsa 4-7, Oklahoma City 3-7. And you need at least 6 wins to get into the playoff conversation. And this being Tulsa's final game of the season, their bye week, so to speak, is the 13th and final week of the season, so the best they could do is 5 wins. At Oklahoma City, it's been kind of a down year for them after making the playoffs in Season 10.
That might be the case, but they are really trying to pick up some form late in the season, it seems.
Charles Ball stifled at his own 29-yard line. Big number 92, Dave Olson, on the tackle for Oklahoma City. I kind of rushed through it before. Let's get you your uniform analysis on today's game. On the road, the Oklahoma City Renegades, bronze helmets, white jerseys, bronze pants, bronze numbers with yellow highlights and accents. As Martin has all day in the pocket. He's going to throw short over the middle, and it's incomplete. Dropped by Danny Knighton, who made such a fantastic catch on their last drive to set up the touchdown.
I honestly just can't tell you what happened there. I mean, it's a routine grab, and he just kind of fumbled it. He just kind of lost it in his grip, and just was lucky that was just considered an incomplete pass.
For Tulsa, it's their blackout game of the season. Black helmets, black jerseys, black pants with red and green highlights and white numbers, as a flare out of the backfield for Robinson on the near side will pick up 6 yards on second down. He's run out of bounds by Matthew Lee. And this is where I think that they're going to get a lot of work out of Sonzo Robinson, and they have done for a lot of the season, is in those swing passes where you can get him in space and use the speed that we saw on their first touchdown.
Well, that was what they were hoping to get out of him this season. And they're at least seeing some of it in this game.
Third down and 4, empty backfield from Martin. He's going to throw across the middle of the field, and it's incomplete. In and out of the hands of Andre Godspeed. That's the first time we've even mentioned him today outside the roster rundown. And it is the first time Tulsa has not scored on a drive here in the first quarter, and their punter, Cortland Weaver, will have to come on the field.
It was a very interesting formation they came out in. All 4 receivers all on one side.
Well, it didn't really work for them, as Oklahoma City's going to get the ball back. The kick is away from about the 25-yard line, and up just short of the 30 to the 29 goes the receiver, Brock Manley. And that's where Oklahoma City will start their next drive. You mentioned earlier when Oklahoma City scored their last touchdown. Welcome to the gun show. These are two of the teams in the league with guns in their logo, so I guess it is fitting. 4 minutes 12 to go. First quarter, a handoff up the middle to J.W. Doyle. Haven't seen much of the first-round draft pick so far today. That's only his second run, but he does pick up 7 yards.
Well, that's just not generally in this team's identity, or it hasn't been this season, to run the ball as much as they, have. Even in this game, just twice so far, it just doesn't seem to be part of their style.
2nd and 3 from their own 35, going left to right across your radio dial. Doyle's going to bounce off a tackler and get all the way up to the 45. 10-yard pickup and a first down. And here goes the offensive jets as Oklahoma City is going to run the no huddle, and Doyle gets the ball again, and he's going to be wrapped up for a 3-yard gain. Again off the right side. They're going to continue to go up tempo here. 3 minutes, 15 seconds to go in the first quarter. Tie game at 14 from Greenwood District Stadium in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Another handoff to Doyle. He's got a running room, and he's got all. First down, picked up 6 yards on the play, 3rd and 1. They'll still go up tempo. 2:57 to go. They like something about this formation matchup, and now Nickens is going to throw across the middle. Crossing pattern is perfect. And another first down inside Tulsa territory to the 34-yard line. And Nickens gets back up to the line, gets everybody set. And Tulsa looks to be scrambling on defense to deal with some of the speed of Oklahoma City in their pseudo 2-minute drill here. 2 minutes and 30 to go first quarter. Now they're all the way down to the Tulsa 30. Nickens has to step up in the pocket. Here's the throw. He dumps it off to Doyle, who sheds a tackle from Espen Real and gets all the way down to the 26-yard line, setting up a 3rd down and 2, and it will bring the up-tempo offense to an end.
I think they were trying to exploit the fatigue that they may have been seeing in the defense. They were probably on a short rotation and just noted it, and then just decided to just try to push pressure on them, put the pressure on them.
3rd down and 2, heavy set here. But Nickens is gonna throw. He's looking far side, off the hands of Brian Pitts. The rookie can't get it done. And on to the field comes Johnny Omega to attempt a field goal.
I don't necessarily agree with that play call. I feel like if you were trying to play the fatigue game, you would go deep there and try to just score again.
It's going to be almost a 45-yarder. Kick on the way. And it's right down Main Street, 43 yards. Johnny Omega gives Oklahoma City the lead, and it was good by a couple of feet.
By the way it looked like he could have kicked that from 48 and it still would have made it.
1:45 to go first quarter. Oklahoma City capping another successful drive. They lead 17-14. And Tulsa is going to get the ball back after their first punt of the game on their last drive. Charles Ball from his own 15-yard line, spins and moves, takes it up past the 30 to the 34 before he's run down by a couple of white shirts. I would not be surprised in this game if Charles Ball was able to break a big return out for a touchdown or even like 40 or 50 yards, because he's got breakaway speed if he can get clear.
It did look like on that last return that he was just one move away from doing exactly as he said.
1st and 10 for Tulsa, going right to left across your radio dial in the all-black uniforms today at home. Martin to the near side. That pass is complete, 3 yards to Andre Godspeed, who makes his 2nd catch of the day. And they marked him out of bounds as he fell forward. So the clock stops with 1:36 to go.
Yeah, at first glance it seemed kind of weird to see him just fall over like that, the way as if he was trying to stay in bounds, but it did seem. Nope, the clock's moving.
Well, clock moving, 1:23 to go. Martin, deep drop, pressure coming. He gets the pass away. It's tipped in the air and incomplete. Great one-on-one coverage by Matthew Lee. One-on-one defending the receiver Godspeed again. And Martin looking for his favorite target as of late, but this time he undersold it.
I would have liked to have seen a little more effort from Lee there. Just make a second effort at the ball. He still had a chance to probably take that away.
5 wide receiver set on 3rd and 7. Martin's going to have to make something work here. He's going to throw to the far side, and that's almost intercepted. Undercutting the route was Nello Barber, the other Week 9 deadline signing for this Oklahoma City team, coming through, breaking up the pass and ending the drive. Again, a 3-and-out for Tulsa in consecutive drives.
Well, that time they just read the minds of the offense there perfectly. They just had a good sense of how they were playing the past couple of drives and finally got to some jump balls there.
And I think that Tulsa on that drive, as the punt is away, returned by Manley up to the Oklahoma City 26. I think that a little bit Tulsa is getting away from what they had done so well for most of this first quarter, which is use the run or the short pass to open up lanes down the field. But on that last drive, they just went for it, and it was well covered. 1st and 10 for the Renegades at their own 26, going left to right across your radio dial. Nickens, short pass out of the backfield to Doyle. He's got some running room across the far side. He bounces off one tackler, and it takes a tremendous effort from Kyler Murray to bring him down after a gain of 8.
So something I'm seeing out of Oklahoma City that differs from Tulsa is that they are trying to add on to their early game plan and trying to add even more ways to try to get their offense going down the field.
Now on 2nd and 2, the playbook really opens up here. You can do a short pass, a long pass, a run. Nickens going to throw. He's under pressure, and down he goes. First sack of the day, back at the 29-yard line. And number 54, Rhett Sawyer, the defensive tackle, comes through and gets a sack.
Well, that just wasn't what they were foreseeing, but it seems like they just kind of let the whole play break down. The whole line just won at the line of scrimmage, and that play was dead to rights.
Now 3rd and 7. Nickens going to have to beat him with his arm. Pressure in his face. Hit as he throws. The ball is wobbling out there and tipped away by Kyler Murray. That pass was intended, it looked like, for Hunter Jones. And that is the end of a very entertaining first quarter. Oklahoma City has 17, Tulsa has 14, but the Desparados have the ball. When we come back, this is the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube. Stay with us.
Welcome back to
Oklahoma, where the Desperados are about to get the ball back. Down 3 points after an entertaining first quarter that saw plenty of offense. But at the end, Levant, it looked like the defenses were catching up.
It was honestly about time for them, but you know, I would definitely say that about defense, but it seemed to just come at the right time for both teams, because they don't want this to just be down to the wire like that. They want to have some semblance of a running team.
Charles Ball takes the punt back to the Tulsa 40-yard line. Best starting field position of the game for the Desperados. Now in the second quarter, going left to right. Handoff up the middle to Robinson. Robinson slips through for 4 yards. He's finally taken down by Pee Wee Rubens.
You know, honestly, now that I really think about it, it could just be the fact that this is a rivalry game, and that's why both of these teams are just going all out at each other. They have nothing else to play for, at least the rivalry game.
And if you're Tulsa, you don't want to get swept by Oklahoma City both games this year. And Martin throws to the outside for Robinson. Robinson can't get away from the tackle. He'll only pick up a yard. And 3rd and 5 coming up. Especially, you know, the in-state rivalry. These two teams aren't separated by very much mileage. A lot of Oklahoma City fans did make the trip to Tulsa today. Saw a lot of bronze and gold in the stands. 3rd down and 5, and Martin, short drop over the middle, almost picked. He threw it right into the teeth of the defense. And Brady Clark almost had the interception. He was looking for Andre Godspeed, who's been his favorite target today, but hasn't really been a factor.
I just didn't really like that they kept both of the split backs at home. If you're going to run that formation and still pass out of it, you should have them have some sort of medium yardage. You're only in a medium yardage situation. Keeping them at home isn't going to do anything for you.
4th down and 5, and on to punt is Cortland Weaver. Weaver, and it's basically a fair catch at the 20-yard line by Brock Manley as he got hit right as he caught the ball. And now Oklahoma City has a chance to stretch the lead here because from the end of the second now to the beginning of the first quarter, or other way around, first the second quarter, Tulsa's offense really has stalled here. Deacon Nickens is looking under pressure and throws it away. And Gib Lee Do with the hit on the quarterback. We're seeing Oklahoma City's offensive line start to give more and more ground to the Tulsa front.
And I think this is now just going down to what these teams have been weakest in throughout the season, and part of both teams' struggles have been defending against the pass rush. And as we get later in this game, they're only going to get even more fatigue.
Nickens in the shotgun, maybe trying to buy himself some more time, but he still has to move in the pocket, fires down the field, but it's caught in space. Tiberius Bovard, what a way to make an entrance. That's his first catch of the game, and he gets all the way down to the Tulsa 35 into plus territory.
And that's definitely how to just barge right in. As you just see here, the ball was kind of wobbly out there, but he went back, reached out and grabbed it, and made a wonderful play.
That is a tight end matched up against one of the best safeties in the league. I know his stats don't really back it up this year, but over the past 2 seasons, he's proved it. And he just burned him. And they're going to get a penalty here for offsides. And J.W. drove with a tear. Stiff arm. Spin move it another first down inside the 20. Man, when this offense gets going, they really motor.
Neutral zone infraction. Number 95, defense, the penalty.
Gib Lee Do trying to get a little bit too much of an advantage. Brings the offsides penalty even. Of course, it's going to be declined as J.W. Doyle, normally a power runner, showing some finesse on that play.
Well, you tend to take more risk when you know the play is free. Even if you fumbled it there, wouldn't have mattered. They just would have accepted the penalty.
Inside the SFL, presented by APM Music Red Zone. With all the scoring we've done today, this is the first time there's been a snap inside the red zone for either team. Nickens, pressured, hit as he throws, going to the far side. It's fumbled out of bounds. I'm confused.
I do not believe he had enough possession of the ball. No. Someone figured this out for me. Let's look at it again. You gotta have at least 1 sec. No, that's not enough time. I can't even count a second. I can't even count it as being a second. You have to hold the ball for at least probably like what, 2 seconds? That's just not enough time.
Well, the call stands. He caught it and then fumbled it out of bounds to the 5. So it's first down and goal from the 5 for Oklahoma City. Heavy set, handoff. J.W. Doyle trying to push his way to the end zone or push his way to the 3 on first down. And I agree with you, Levant. I don't think that he held on to the ball long enough to determine a catch.
Well, this is just a comedy of errors now, isn't it? Why didn't they challenge it? Apparently, they just allowed Oklahoma City all the time in the world to snap the ball.
Second and goal from the 3. Nickens doesn't like what he sees. He's changing the play at the line. They've got two receivers split out to the right. And Nickens is going to throw to the backcourt of the end zone and wide open, put it on the board. Touchdown, Tiberius Bovine.
You know, they finally figured out how to effectively get him into this game and in this offense. It's just perfect. Just a perfect pass. I would have liked to see a little more effort from Espen, get his hand up, try to disrupt the play, but great positioning by Bovine to keep himself in bounds.
And as much as SFL land likes to harp on Deacon Nickens, that was a great throw. A little teardrop pass to the back of the end zone. Bovine tapped the toes and got 6 points as the extra point goes up and through from Johnny Omega. So we've got 8:07 left to go in this afternoon's first quarter, and the Renegades extend their lead. It's now 24-14. This is the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube. Once again, I am your play-by-play commentator, Michael Truilo, joined by Levant, Mercer in the booth here at Greenwood District Stadium in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And it's been a fun one so far. Oklahoma now out to a 10-point lead over Tulsa, and Charles Ball's running the wrong way. On the return, only gets up to the 29. And the Desparados have gone 3 straight 3-and-outs, Levant. What does their offense need to do to get it together and get back into this game?
They're going to need to just go back to what they did at the very beginning of the game and get Sons of Robinson going.
And Tulsa likes to take shots down the field with Michael Martin, but you got to set him up first, or else they'll be too well covered as Martin flares it out to Robinson. And this is the kind of thing we're talking about. He's got all the room to run. Tried to spin past the flying Brady Clark, and he couldn't get away, but he does pick up 8 yards on first down.
You know, both such moves by both players were very risky there. If that diving tackle was missed, you know, he could have left him in the dust. But that spin move, everyone knows, I don't like it very much.
2nd and 2. Offset eye behind Martin. From the 37-yard line, and Sons of Robinson got a block on his backside. He almost got crushed after he caught the ball, but he does pick up a first down to the 43-yard line.
Gonna have to watch that matchup there with Clark. They're gonna probably start putting him in the flat to try to cover that, and he might do something there.
I just watched the replay again out of the quarter mile. I'll go back to it in a minute as Martin goes deep. Martin's got a man, and he's got a catch down inside Tulsa territory. Andre Godspeed finally makes a big play, gets all the way to the Oklahoma City 34.
You know, you're just one bundle of muscle when you're just able to get up there and get past defenders and the ref.
Andre Godspeed out jumping the referee to make that catch.
No interference that time. No way.
I mean, the ref's not going to flag himself.
You never know.
1st and 10, handoff up the middle to Robinson, and he got nothing. First time the run defense really has come through for Oklahoma City. That's Zig Washington on the tackle.
They really haven't gotten to speak much about the defensive line so far today. It's probably the 2nd contribution from the lineman for both teams so far.
Another handoff to Robinson. This time he gets a block, bounces off his own blocker, and he's got the speed to get a first down to the 21-yard line. And I thought that play was dead after he bumped into his own blocker, that being Buffalo Marshall, the fullback. But he was able to bounce it outside and still get 11 yards out of it.
Well, one of the keys there, and it's not often that we see this, but we see this with the better running backs, is he had his hand out. So he had his hand out and was able to push himself back behind him and keep going.
Martin alone in the backfield from just outside the red zone at the 21-yard line. Looking downfield, plenty of time to throw. He's going to throw it underneath. And that pass is complete, and another first down. This time it's going to be and goal to go. As Gito Williams, the tight end, gets down to the 8-yard line.
Now, there's something interesting about this play I want to point out. Like, look at the timing on this route. As soon as he makes his cut, right there, ball's thrown, and it's in his hands. Perfect.
And you've got Gage Drury, a linebacker, trying to move laterally against the tight end. That's a matchup the tight end usually wins. Now first and goal from inside the SFL, presented by APM Music Red Zone. Tulsa for the first time today. Here's Sanzo Robinson up the middle. He'll give him 3 yards up to the 5. And the tackle was made by Elvis Schumacher.
Yeah, they're going to get a lot of support from Schumacher and Clark today. They've been putting in double duty out there, switching and swapping around the defense.
Martin under center from the 5-yard line. Short drop throws over the middle, and it's incomplete, knocked away. As Pee Wee Rubens got enough of a deflection on it to keep it out of the hands of the receiver.
I just feel like he just chose the wrong receiver on that read there. He had the ball in the generally correct area. He just chose the wrong receiver. He should have just went underneath.
He was aiming for Corey Jones, who hasn't made a significant contribution to the Tulsa offense yet. Martin, this time a long drop to the corner of the end zone. Jump ball intercepted! Oklahoma City takes the ball away in the end zone, and it's Matthew with the big play.
No, that was forthcoming, wasn't it? It's a team that has significant issues with turnovers, and in that way, they just undersold his receiver there, and that was it for that.
He threw it up like it was a jump ball when Godspeed didn't really have a good position to make the catch.
When you beat the receiver to the inside like that, there's nothing you could do there. It's all defense.
And Tulsa squanders a great opportunity to get back in the ballgame. And now City up 10. Here's J.W. Doyle. Howe will run up the middle for 7 yards on first down up to the 27.
When you have a 10-point lead like this and Doyle's just red hot today, you might as well just keep going to him and keep pushing that pressure up the middle.
You know how that first quarter seemed to drag on forever? This second quarter has gone by fast. We're down to under 5 minutes to go. Oklahoma City up 24-14. Nickens taking his time. Changes the play. Now stakes the snap. He doesn't have to shift in the pocket. Finds Doyle. Oh, Doyle trucks a man and almost gets a first down. Took 2 black jerseys to bring him down. One of those being Charles Ball, and the other being Kanye Rockefeller.
You know, we're just seeing just the evolution of J.W. Doyle in this game so far. He's just becoming just a new man out there.
3rd and inches, and this is probably going to be a J.W. Doyle show again. And he puts the power forward. No! He ran the wrong way. He lost 3 yards. And a big tackle by Kyron Hill. And Tulsa survives, and they're going to get another shot to go score a touchdown before the end of the half.
Just right there. Blitz through the gap that they decided to run through. The quarterback should have read it and just should have decided to kill the play and didn't.
Ethan Ellis gets the punt away. Charles Ball brings it up to the 38. Tulsa breathing a sigh of relief there, especially Michael Martin breathing a sigh of relief as he gets a chance to atone for his interception.
Well, in a game like this, you want your defense to bail you out of like that. It's okay sometimes to take the risk. He did, but just lead your receiver better next time.
From their own 38-yard line, single receiver each side. Martin short drop throws to the far side on a corner route. That pass is complete for 4 yards. And Andre Godspeed hauls in another catch. And you look at this last series for Tulsa, and you're thinking it was a terrible series. They didn't score. It was a great series for Tulsa that should have been capped with a touchdown. But a great play in the end zone, and all it's going to look like on the stat sheet is an interception. Smart down the middle. Caught behind the defense. There goes Stephen Bush. Put it on the board. He's got his second touchdown of the game. He's torching his whole team today.
And once again, they just went and covered underneath, and Bush goes over the top and just leaves them in the dust. Absolutely nothing they can do there.
You put the really experienced receiver Bush against the rookie Nello Barber, only playing in his 4th game in the SFL, and that's a matchup that Bush wins every time. And now on for the extra point is Andrew Wheeler to make this a 3-point game again.
Yeah, this is just retribution.
Whoa!
Whoa!
A little trouble with the snap, and the ball is blocked! The holder was Sir Charles Robinson, the backup quarterback. He had trouble with it. He couldn't get the ball down, and it was blocked in front. How often do you see that?
Not very. I don't think we've only seen like what, 3 or 4 this year? It's been more common this year than most.
What a wild turn of events as Oklahoma City maintains a 2-score lead at 4 points, or a beyond field goal lead at 4 points, 24-20. And if this game comes down to the wire, that could be huge.
Especially since this season, we've already seen teams where on special teams they've dropped points, like in our first game this season, and that was the difference maker, the points that they didn't have.
Special teams, so important. You overlook it until something goes wrong, as Nickens has in trouble after to find Doyle for 1 yard, and it's a generous spot even getting that.
I think part of that goes back to Robinson not necessarily being... Well, we're at the 2-minute warning. I'll continue my point.
We have reached the 2-minute warning here in the first half. An entertaining offensive slugfest. Oklahoma City 24, Tulsa 20. This is the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube. Stay with us. So, Levant, continue.
So, when a quarterback gets benched into a new role that they're not accustomed to, they're not used to having to hold.
Handoff up the middle. J.W. Doyle, he's got all the way daylight in front of him. At a first down out to the 40. He didn't get touched before he passed the first down marker.
That's just been the case all most of the day. I mean, only on a couple of plays has the front 7 been able to get through. And once again, once he gets past that, it's up to the secondary.
And that is one of the main ways to get around your offensive line not playing as well as to run counter runs like that. And here's another handoff to Doyle, and he's not going to get as far this time. He'll only get 3 yards as the safeties came up on the run blitz.
And even then, it does change how the defense decides to attack, because now they have to adjust for moving parts.
2nd and 7, 1:10 to go and counting, and I thought they were just going to run the clock out to the end of the half, but oh, they got a 3rd offsides penalty on Tulsa. The sack against Nickens will not count, as he was looking for the big play. Ghibli do. His sack is erased, and the Renegades are going to get another chance.
Now, in this league, generally teams are very disciplined, so when you have 3 or more penalties in a game, while not uncommon for other leagues, it's very uncommon here, and it's a poor sign for Tulsa.
And if you have 3 offsides or false starts, whatever the case may be, in a half as the home team, you're not even going against the noise. And it boggles the mind. And again, J.W. Doyle put himself in a really bad spot right there. He lost a couple of yards. Now 3rd and 4. Under a minute to go now, 50 seconds. Deacon Nickens snaps it, looking, throws short over the middle. Caught for a first down across midfield to the 49. Oklahoma City still has 3 timeouts, but they're choosing to go up-tempo. Nickens under center. He'll wait and snap with 32 seconds to go, and he's going to throw it into the ground as he was converged on from all sides by the Tulsa defense. Rhett Sawyer came in there and laid the pressure, as well as many other black jerseys.
It just came on a all linebacker blitz. They're probably just trying to look for that run that they've been doing out of the no huddle recently, and it worked out anyway.
It does stop the clock. 29 seconds to go. Nickens back to pass. He's got plenty of time. He goes down the middle, and it's almost picked off. Kanye Rockefeller had his hands on the football, and he was eating too many buttered popcorn on the pregame warm-ups, as he just straight up dropped that one.
Well, that's why they play on that side of the field.
3rd down and 10 now, 25 seconds. Renegades still have all 3 timeouts if they do make the 1st down. Nickens throws over the middle into the zone coverage. Oh, they didn't get there. A clutch tackle from Kyron Hill meant that Brian Pitts did not get the 1st down.
Don't understand why they're not calling a timeout and trying to run this extra set of plays, but
no,
okay.
they're just going to let it go to hand. Oh, they're going to snap the ball with 1 second left. Nickens forced to throw to the end zone. It is incomplete. And that is how the half ends. Deezer Powell couldn't pick out the ball amongst about 4 or 5 defenders. TJ Covington was in there. Kanye Rockefeller was in there. Charles Ball as well. And that is how the first half ends, as the teams go to the locker room. An interesting clock management strategy. You had 3 timeouts, didn't use any of them. But that'll be the half. Renegades 24, Desparados 20. We'll be back after the break. This is the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube. Stay with us. District Stadium here in downtown Tulsa, Oklahoma, where the Renegades of Oklahoma City have come into enemy territory and are by 4 as we begin the second half. I am your play-by-play commentator, Michael Truilo, joining me today is Levant Mercer, and Levant, two teams with no playoff aspirations, just out here for personal pride and maybe to have a little fun too. And they're putting on a show for us so far.
I wouldn't say there's any fun in a rivalry game, but you can surely have it here with us, 'cause it's been a hot one so far.
Oklahoma City up 24-20. The first quarter was all offensive shootout as both teams scored 2 touchdowns. In the second quarter, it cooled off a bit. Both teams only getting 1. But Oklahoma City crucially blocking. An extra point to lead by 4. Sanzo Robinson gets the ball on first down, goes nowhere as Tulsa, wearing the all black with white numbers, green and red trim, going from right to left across your radio dial. Start with the ball in the second half. They're opposed by Oklahoma City in the bronze helmets, bronze pants, white jerseys with bronze numbers, green and yellow trim. From just down the road in Oklahoma City. Jumbo package on second down. Martin under center is going to give the ball to Robinson, and he's wrapped up in the backfield. Nobody guarded number 51, Derek Pounds, as he broke up the play, and Sanzo lost 2 yards.
Well, coming out in the good old 6-2 front there, there's absolutely nothing you could do if the defensive line wins. Just way too many numbers for the offensive line to handle.
And now 4 wide, empty backfield. Martin throwing deep over the middle. That's a fireball. What a pass over the middle, and into Oklahoma City territory goes Andre Godspeed.
You gotta watch with them bullets, but when they're firing like this, look at it again. Just look at the pass. Just out in an instant and into the hands.
That ball looked like it was fired from the gun behind the head of the Tulsa Desperado mascot.
It has been a shootout here so far today.
First down and 10 in Oklahoma City territory at the 44. 2 receivers each side, Martin under center. Only a 3-man rush for Oklahoma City. Plenty of time to throw for Martin, and he'll get 7 yards to the near side. Damon McIntosh makes his second catch of the day.
That's why having such a communicative linebacker like Drury is important, because they came out in a very, very bad front for the package they came in, and they just changed the play at the line.
2nd and 3 from the 36, handoff Robinson. Robinson sheds a tackle and gets a first down out to the 32-yard line. He was hit hard there by Brady Clark, and it's been Clark versus Robinson all day. It's been a war of attrition in the gaps, but so far Robinson is winning.
It seems so. It just seems like he has too much speed, and there's just not enough lateral quickness coming out of Clark. He has won some plays, though. It hasn't been all minuses for Clark.
First down and 10, going back to the jumbo package, and Robinson, this time he follows his blockers and gets 7 yards. Good tackle again by Brady Clark. Solo tackle in space, preventing Robinson from possibly going all the way.
It has to be a worrisome point for Oklahoma City, though, because they can't just rely on one player to stop the other, especially when one is just so much faster.
3rd handoff in a row, and this time the play gets blown up. Robinson hit in the backfield for a huge loss. Damon Malinsky, the defensive end, came through and shut that play down.
They're going to need a lot more of that in this half. Whichever team wins in the trenches, I believe, is going to ultimately win this game, because in the first half, there wasn't much of it for either side.
We saw Tulsa's defensive line get after Nickens, and now Martin going down the field. Oh, it's caught! Oh, put it on the board. Andre Godspeed, that was beautiful. No, Corey Jones, that was beautiful. Touchdown, and Tulsa takes the lead.
You know, we've mentioned that he hasn't been a factor so far in this game, but I think he's just become it. Look at this. Demolition there. Just absolute strike. Sorry about that.
I thought that Nello Barber had got his hand on the ball and knocked it away.
I think every time they just see him alone out there, they saw how he was handling Bush, which wasn't a handle at all. He had no handle on Bush, so they saw the matchup and it just went after it.
The extra point is up and good. Tulsa takes the lead for the first time in the ball game, 27-24. And a great opening drive by the Desparados here in the second half. Took almost 4 minutes off the clock. Since I haven't done it yet today, chat shout-outs. Love a B de team, Kanye Rockefeller, Ocho 11, Thomas Dewar, Hunter Jones, Michael Irvine, Pure 2K12, and everybody else watching us on the SFL on YouTube. Thank you for spending your afternoon with us here at the Simulation Football League. We've got 2 weeks to go until the playoffs, and there are 13 teams still in contention for the playoffs, and I'm sure we'll find time in the second half to talk about some of the playoff scenarios as this game winds down. 1st and 10 for Oklahoma City from their own 26. Nickens. Oh, he's sacked. Back at his own 19-yard line. Nobody covered. Number 95, Gib Lee Dew picks up his 2nd sack of the game.
The offensive line did attempt to pinch, but they just pinched a little too late and just had not enough time to stop Lee Dew there.
And this continues a trend we saw late in the second quarter and I guess now into the third. The Oklahoma City offensive line is not holding up against the Tulsa defensive front. And Nickens has had very little time to throw, and he's going down again. Case in point, Rhett Sawyer picks up his 2nd sack.
They took away part of his first, but we're saying it's 2. And that right there is just a beast right there. When you're able to just take out the center and get to the quarterback almost immediately like that, there's no hope for that play.
The Renegades drive is pretty much over. Nickens can find some magic, but he's going down again. Gib Lee Dew his 2nd sack in 3 plays, and it's 4th and 27. Oklahoma City back inside their own 10.
I don't know what they were told at halftime, but whatever it is seems to work because they're bringing the heat.
The offense had a great drive to get a touchdown. The defense pushed him back 27 yards. Ellis is punting out of the back of his own end zone. It's going to be fantastic field position for the Tulsa Desparados to extend their lead in. Charles Ball takes it in Oklahoma City territory and runs it to the 34. They're almost in field goal range.
Now, I definitely understand being pinned back against your own end zone there, but that didn't even have average hang time for that situation. 3.9 is borderline a shank. I understand still where he was, but can't be doing that.
This sets up Tulsa at the Oklahoma City 34, going right to left. Trying to extend their 3-point lead here in the second half. Martin, long drop over the middle into zone coverage. That pass is complete. Stephen Bush, who has 2 touchdowns already today, picks up 9 yards and sets up 2nd and 1.
Here, they're trying to play over top and just the pass going underneath. The defense just looks lost out there. They had probably only just 1 or 2 guys in the vicinity before they had to come back down and converge on him.
2nd and 1 from the Oklahoma City 26. Handoff, Robinson, 1st down. Oh no, oh he did get it. Robinson looked like he was trying to spin away from Gino Soto, but he spun right into the tackle and almost didn't pick up the 1st down. The forward progress will move the chains.
Well, someone needs to write a treatise on forward progress there, because that right there is just some straight cheese.
Now, Martin looking to go long with a 5-wide set, but will go to the single receiver far side for 7 yards. Stephen Bush makes another catch. And I think that at halftime, Coach Deion Hawkins of Tulsa might have said, hey, we have 2 quarters left in our season. go out there and play a game you can be proud of, because we're not doing it right now, and it has had an effect on the Desparados on both sides of the ball. Inside the SFL, presented by APM Music Red Zone at the 17. Jumbo package in for Robinson. Handoff up the middle, powers through for a first down.
Feel like he could have gotten more there, but his blockers just kind of overran the play.
It doesn't matter. If you have a back like Robinson, excuse me, that can power through like that, your offensive line has some leeway. It's going to run it again right up the middle, get past the offensive line, and be chopped down by the linebacker, Gannon Slater, after a gain of 4.
Well, but it's the best way to avoid the situation that they had earlier. It's just to keep running the ball here, it seems. So that seems to be what they're going to go with this in the red zone.
2nd and 6 from the 11. Martin looking, throwing near side, complete to Godspeed. First down and goal inside the 3. Matthew Lee there to make the tackle and prevent the touchdown.
That right there, they just found the gaps in the defensive zone. Once again, only was covering the flat. The out route was just cut to perfection there, and the first down.
I think this is Sanzo Robinson territory. Inside the 3, Robinson gets the handoff, goes into the end zone untouched. Put it on the board. Tulsa extends their lead through Sanzo Robinson.
It's just too easy. No one around them. Everyone just couldn't get past their blocks. Look at that right there. We saw the corner being lined up against a tackle. There's no way he's shedding that one, so that was just smooth sailing.
Touchdown number 8 on the season for Robinson, his 6th on the ground. And Tulsa goes up potentially by 10 here. Up and good is the extra point. It's Tulsa 34, Oklahoma City 24. So from, let's say, 5 minutes before halftime to almost the end of the 3rd quarter, it's been a 10-point swing in favor of Tulsa. They were down by 10, now they're up by 10, and they have all the momentum right now.
Yeah, and in these sorts of situations, especially in a rivalry game, I wouldn't put it against Oklahoma City to make that shift turn right back around.
Up to the 25 goes Brock Manley. And we've seen Oklahoma City, chiefly in the 1st quarter, have some very efficient drives. But Deacon Nickens has had little to no time in the pocket, as we saw in their last drive. He was sacked 3 times in 3 plays. Not much you can do there if you're trying to run a passing offense. And they're going to run it to Doyle. Doyle hit behind the line of scrimmage and dropped for a loss of 2.
You know, there are very different ways, the way that their team is set up, that they could attempt to handle it. We've seen different teams employ different styles, such as running screen plays, you know, your general swing passes and stuff that just try to mitigate the blitz here. But since it's all been a defensive push, it could just bring the tight end back.
2nd and 12, a 4th offsides penalty upcoming, and every time they've gotten a big play, this time it's Tiberius Bovan all the way up by midfield.
It's just been a very indisciplined game by Tulsa so far on the line.
Number 54, defense.
And that's all 4 of the defensive linemen have now jumped at least once. As this time it's Dexter Romberg.
So we've seen in this game both just the 2 sides of the aggressive jumping that they've been employing work. On the previous drive, 3 straight sacks. On this drive, another penalty.
1st and 10 from the Oklahoma City 46-yard line. Oh, J.W. Doyle got a huge hole up the middle, but it closed quickly. He'll get 6 yards. He's up close to 100 on the day at 83. A very good day for a power back.
Well, that seems to be one of Tulsa's weaknesses so far this season. They're one of the teams that leak the most when it comes to, you know, trying to defend the run. And Doyle, who hasn't been doing that great this season, is going a little above his average.
With this game, he's now over 800 yards for the year. Nickens, oh, he was hit as he threw, and it was underthrown and almost picked off. Gus Jones had his hand on it, and the ball eventually hit the turf and brings up 3rd and 4.
That said, there was some clamoring for a late hit penalty on Jones there, because I did see that he kind of swung him around to the turf a little late there.
No flag forthcoming. 3rd down and 4. Nickens, plenty of time, goes down the field. It's tipped and incomplete. Bovine tried to track it down after it got tipped well in front of him. And another empty drive for Oklahoma City.
Just seems like right there he tried to do too much to bring his team back. Don't need to get it back all at once.
Looked like Kanye Rockefeller was the man who tipped the pass, and out comes Ethan Ellis again. He'll punt from about his own 40-yard line. Oh, that pass, punt was almost blocked. He got it away. Fair catch called by Ball inside his own 20. And they'll mark it at the 14-yard line.
Just a hair away there. Just a hand just came up a little too late. He had the pursuit angle. He had the angle. He just needed to put his body in front of it.
We've seen, well, blocks of any kind are very rare in the SFL. We've already seen a blocked extra point today, which is one of the rarest instances to occur. And Michael Martin on 1st down, backed up inside his own 15. He'll find a 4-yard gain rather to Bush.
Now, with the amount of receivers that Tulsa has and the different formations they employ, it's going to be very difficult for Oklahoma City to key on a single receiver here. They're all deep passing threats, and this might be how they play the rest of the game.
All 3 of them have at least 1 touchdown. Bush has 2, Godspeed has 1, Jones has 1. Martin changes the play at the line. 1:22 to go, 1st quarter. Martin, short pass, then he hit the back of a defender. Dante Okobe is a defensive tackle, and he's going to get credit for a pass breakup, and
I just
hit him in the helmet.
Don't understand the read there. Like, lead your receiver a little more. Don't. This should never happen, honestly. There's no way that hitch route should lead its way into the helmet of a defensive tackle. Got to push your receivers out more.
That was the blocking tight end, Will Ganderson. And this time, Martin under pressure going to have to fire it out there quickly, and it's not going to be enough for the 1st down. As it was hauled in there by Jones. And now, I don't think you go for it. You're up by 10, you're inside your own 30. No, they're just going to punt it away.
There's no need to go for it here at all. You just punt it away and just hope your defense gets the ball back for you.
The defense has been playing well for Tulsa this side of halftime. Block Manley hit immediately, gets it up to the Oklahoma City 43. Nickens and company will have to, Deacon Nickens and company will have to, I'm not the first person to do that. We're going to move on. 1st and 10 from the 43. Nickens, oh, he's going to be almost sacked again. He spiked the ball before Rhett Sawyer got to him.
Well, you know who else can't get it together? Deacon Nickens can't get it together because he doesn't have enough time in the pocket to throw.
Isn't that the offensive line's problem? Like, if the receivers don't have time to run their routes, the quarterback can't find him. That's on the offensive line, or it just shows how good the Tulsa defensive line has been late in this ballgame. 2nd and 10 now. Nickens back to pass. Only a 3-man rush. Plenty of time. He still has to check it down to Doyle, who only gets 5 yards.
Now that's arguably the right way to handle the blitz. If you see that you don't have enough time, you're going to have to start going to screen routes and swing passes out short to try to beat it. Force them to start trying to blitz from the outside where you can max protect and have more time going so you can pass the ball downfield.
Oh, look at this high press defense. Nickens throws it to the corner, tipped away. Great individual play. Nate Heslip knocks the ball away from Hunter Jones.
You know, he's made up for his initial error at the beginning of the game, because ever since he's been credited for at least 2 pass breakups, and that right there was critical for him.
It was an acrobatic leap to knock the ball away from Jones, who could have been gone down the sideline if he'd caught the ball. But again, a 3-and-out for Oklahoma City. Another punt for Ethan Ellis. And Tulsa's defense does the job. Charles Ball trying to dance away from the tackle. He'll get up to the 22. And that brings an end to the 3rd quarter of play. Put your 4s up, 11 minutes to go. Tulsa up by 10, but anything can happen in the final 11 minutes. This is the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube. Stay with us.
Oh, once again, it was almost another punt block there. They really need to check the gunner on that side the next time they go back out there to punt.
Tulsa at their own 22-yard line in the 4th quarter, going left to right. A out route to Robinson, and Robinson breaks a tackle and goes down the sideline. 1st down and more up to the 36. And it had to be that man again, Grady Clark, who's the defensive MVP for Oklahoma City today, making another clutch tackle.
Yeah, that right there, bailing out what seems to be Barber, who just can't get it together today. Because Barber went for that tackle a little too soon and didn't get anything but dirt. Great job by Clark bailing his defensive teammate out there.
Martin in the gun on 1st and 10. All day to throw, and he's going to use all that time, and he's going to throw it short. He was looking out there for Will Danderson, and it was knocked away. Day Drury out there deep for a linebacker, but he did knock it away.
Yeah, that just seems to be one of the adjustments that they're making now, seeing that they've been going to that play just a little bit too much for their liking, and they finally found an adjustment that worked for them.
Martin looking, throws to Robinson out of the backfield, has a blocker, it has track speed, down the sideline, there he goes. He's finally driven down by Gino Soto, but he's across midfield into Oklahoma City territory at the 42.
You know, this is just so potent here in the 4th quarter to have a dual threat like this, so you can get your yardage in the air and on the ground. Doesn't matter how. As long as you maintain control of the ball, you maintain control of the clock.
And he did not go out of bounds according to the referees. Clock continues to roll now to 10 minutes to go in the ball game. Tulsa on a good drive that started back at their own 22 and now out past midfield. Another short play to Robinson, and this time he gave him way too much to do. He was 1 against 3. He was tackled by Ethan Swinder.
Well, that may have been the case. I mean, it wasn't that bad of a read, because the whole defense seemed to just, well, the whole line seemed to just stunt to the left there.
2nd and 8. Oh, hit as he throws. Got it to Robinson, who's going nowhere. A loss of 5 back to the 45. And Neville Barber makes a good play, a great read. He was spying Robinson all the way and makes the aggressive read and comes up and makes the hit.
Well, I mean, when you run the same play 3 times in a row, I mean, I don't know what else you expect.
We have a out-of-town scoreboard update presented by ScoreStream, the official live scoring app of the Simulation Football League. I will get to it after this. 3rd down and 13, 5 wide. Martin standing right at midfield. Got to get close to the 30-yard line of Oklahoma City for a first down. And he throws over the middle, and he finds the receiver. First down and more to the 23. Andre Godspeed keeps the drive alive.
That's something that Tulsa's been pretty good at. 53% on 3rd down conversions all season. And right there's the vital moment of the pass. When he saw that, he just found that seam there, that little gap in that zone. It was high time to throw it, and great catch there.
As good as Brady Clark has been in this game, he bit hard on the double move, and now Oklahoma City's defense is in all sorts of trouble. There's their first offsides penalty of the day, and it's gonna be declined as the pass was out there and caught by McIntosh for an 8-yard gain. Let's get you to the out-of-town scoreboard presented by ScoreStream. We have a final in Sioux Falls. The Sparrows beat the already eliminated Denver Nightwings 25-14, solidifying their place in the playoffs. And if you want to track live scores throughout the SFL on your phone, download the ScoreStream app from the iPhone or Android App Store today. ScoreStream is the official live scoring app of the Simulation Football League. 2nd down and 1 inside the SFL, presented by APM Music. Red Zone at the 13. Robinson gets the handoff, pushes forward, 1st down and more, up to the 7. And this is the perfect drive that you want for Tulsa. A lot of good runs, clock management, continue to drain the clock. You're up 2 scores, looking to go up 3 scores here.
You know, at this point, if they score here, it might just be ball game. It might be a little too much at the reach.
Handoff. Robinson not going anywhere. He's tackled in the hole by Derek Pounds.
He comes in for his first contribution of the day, and at a vital time for them.
Second and goal from the 6. Martin under center. Robinson behind him with the fullback. Robinson gets the ball, and he runs free into the end zone. Put it on the board, and maybe put the nail in the coffin. Tulsa extends the lead.
Well, if anything, they can hold their heads high, because they're leaving this season with a very good game here. And look at this, just no one around to touch him. There's absolutely no attempt to go to the ball carrier, and it was just open season.
As the extra point, I can't talk over the extra point now because it's important. It may be blocked, you don't know. They've had one blocked already today. Sir Charles Robinson, the holder, and this time it's up and good. The other score from around the SFL at the 3 Central time zone. In the 3rd quarter, Houston has a 28-17 lead on New Orleans. Both of those teams are probably going to the playoffs. And now a 41-24 lead for Tulsa. And you mentioned it, Levant, and this game is probably a little bit out of reach for the Renegades, whose offense has been invisible pretty much in the second half. They didn't come out of the locker room with enough fight in them, especially that offensive line.
No, they haven't, and if they want even a semblance of a chance to come out and back in this one, they're going to have to score it here and then stop Tulsa.
The scoreboard on the screen is wrong. It is 41-24 Tulsa. Handoff to J.W. Doyle. Actually sprints free of his first tackler and gets 5 yards. Brett Sawyer brought him down.
Well, now this is a very precarious time to continue running the ball. It has been working, but when you're down by this much, you're going to have to start thinking about abandoning it.
2 receivers each side, tight end left. Hand off to Doyle. Doyle running around the outside, gets free and gets a first down. Good 7-yard run up to the 37. Making something out of nothing there. And Doyle is one of those pieces for Oklahoma City to really build on for the future. And let me talk about that a little bit, because both of these teams' seasons are over. Tulsa's after this week, Oklahoma City's after next week. And for the Desparados, this is 2 seasons in a row where they've kind of underperformed as Nickens threw the ball out of bounds after he was pressured by Lidu.
I know that in their first season, they started off as hot as any team in the league and then just kind of dipped in form, and ever since then, they've not been able to pick it back up. They had a little push in the middle of this season, and then they dropped 2 more, and that's where they are now.
They have lost the last 3 games coming into the week. As on 2nd and 10, Nickens hit as he throws, and the ball goes incomplete. And again, Brett Sawyer is eating up this offensive line.
Man, I said it before, the team that eventually wins out in the trenches is most likely going to win this game, and it's come to fruition in this half.
Now, if you're the Oklahoma City Renegades and Michael Irvine, coming off a season where you went to the playoffs for the first time, as the pass goes to the far side, and Bovine fighting for a first down, not going to get there. But if you're Michael Irvine and the rest of this Oklahoma City coaching staff, what do you have to do in the offseason to prepare your team to go into season 12 in January and be competitive?
They just really need to have some sort of continuity. There were a lot of moving parts for them this season. They had to pick up players at the deadline. They had issues at the very beginning of the season. We almost thought that they were going to come in very much under the cap before they did eventually. So they're going to have to look at their organizational process throughout the offseason to see where they can get some help in.
And if you're a rookie watching this game, or prospective rookie watching this game, you've got to think, there are places on both of these teams where I could step up and be a factor next season. Michael Martin throwing down the field. That pass is caught. Andre Godspeed to midfield and beyond, out to the 48-yard line. They're not turning down the heat. They're still cooking with 5 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the ball game.
Now this can go 2 ways now. I like this though, because look at that pass, only where his receiver can get it. But here's the thing. I like the idea, but at the same time, it can all go wrong if there's an interception taken for score.
It looks like you're going to be a little bit more conservative here. Offset off. Hand off Robinson up the middle for a yard. And they'll let the clock roll under 5 minutes to play in the ball game. Let's take a look at the Week 11 schedule. Vancouver beat Indianapolis on Friday night. Saturday night's game was pushed to tonight. After this, I am getting on a plane and flying out to London, where Eric Vincent and I will be calling the London and Baltimore game at 7 Central, 8 Eastern. Other games on the schedule tonight at 5 Central, 6 Eastern, San Francisco at Mexico City, Las Vegas at Alaska, Tallahassee at Dallas. At 7 o'clock on YouTube, it's Baltimore at London at 7:30 on Twitch. It's Chicago and St. Louis. 3rd down and 10 for Michael Martin and the rest of the Tulsa offense from the Oklahoma City 48. And they're going to let the play clock run all the way down before they just run it with Robinson. Robinson almost found a hole. He'll get 5 yards, and that's all.
That's got to be... I'm just saying that's gotta be one heck of a supersonic jet they're putting you on to go over there.
The SFL, you know, we can do that in the SFL.
All right.
And then on Monday night, it's not Cam and Steven, it's the Mike and Matt show. Mike Gaggs and Matt Wilson have the call from Carolina as a huge Eastern Conference match between the Carolina Skyhawks and the Queen City Corsairs to round out Week 11. Or Week 12, rather. I messed that up twice today. Punt all the way from Weaver. Fair caught at the 13, make it 14-yard line by Manley. And as the clock winds down here, let's take a look at some playoff picture. Obviously, both of these teams are not going to be able to make the playoffs. Let's take a look at some teams that still can. The teams on the outside looking in are Vancouver at 5-6, Atlanta at 5-6, Chicago at 6-4. Nickens goes down the field, cut, and just shy of the 40-yard line, a basket catch by Bovine. And now, he's going to go up-tempo. Nickens rolling, firing down the field. Oh, what a leaping catch. He leapt like a salmon to make the catches. That's Bovine again. Second straight seam route for Bovine from the tight end spot for a big chunk of yardage there for the Tulsa 32 in 2 plays. And another shot by Nickens and leaping into the air and coming up empty against double coverage is Jones.
If you just look at this again, just the shot by Hill. What did he do? Camera guy, help me out here. What? Okay. Well, I don't quite know what his role in that play was.
He was very important. You see, he ran in there. He was the taunter on the team. He ran in there and taunted the guy for not making the catch. It was very important.
All right.
2nd and 10 from the Tulsa 32. 2:41 to go in the game. Oklahoma City looking for pretty much anything at this point, and it's almost picked off. Kyler Murray got a hand on it and knocked the ball away. It'll be 3rd down and 10. We go back to the postseason outlook. It's a huge game tonight in St. Louis as Chicago goes into town. The Gladiators have a chance to be a big spoiler for the Wildcats, as Nickens on 3rd and 10 looking sacked. And that is just about how this second half has gone for the Oklahoma City offense.
Once again, Rhett Sawyer just absolutely got fastest man here and just, packages him into a little sandwich and ate him up on the play there.
They're going to go for it on 4th and 16. Nickens hit as he throws. He completes the pass over the middle, but it's not anywhere near the 1st down. Pass was caught by Deezer Powell, but that will pretty much end it with 2 minutes and 11 seconds to go. A big second half from the Tulsa Desparados. They're going to end their season with a win in front of their home crowd. Send the fans home happy here. They're going to win the Battle of Oklahoma. They're going to split the Battle of Oklahoma over the season, 1-1. And it was really interesting because we saw these teams play in week 1 of the season. Handoff to Robinson goes backwards for a yard. It was a very close game, an offensive shootout. Came down to the wire. Turnovers were the factor as we've hit the 2-minute warning. You're watching the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube. Stay with us. And to see the difference in these two teams throughout the season, both teams obviously having not quite the years they wanted. Hand off Robinson up the middle, that's for 3 yards. Timeout used by OKC. To approach a game like this when you're eliminated from the playoffs, it must be hard, right? you're coming into a game when you know you have nothing to play for.
I mean, it's still the marquee rivalry game for these two teams. So they're, like I mentioned, there's still that to play for. You don't want to go 0-2 in what seems to be their bowl game right now.
Hand off to Robinson, not going anywhere, and it'll force the second OKC timeout and also a punt. Let's take a look. I keep going back to it and not finishing my thought on the playoffs. The number 1 seed is Alaska at 11-0. Number 2, Tallahassee 10-0. The other automatic qualifiers as of now are 7-3 Carolina, 7-3 Baltimore, 6-4 Mexico City, and 6-4 New Orleans. Now, New Orleans did lose today. Their spot is going to be taken by Sioux Falls, who beat them. Fair catch called for by Manley. So Sioux Falls now 7-4. New Orleans 6-5. Now New Orleans could drop out of the playoffs altogether if Chicago wins tonight, because Chicago would go to 7 wins.
That's still highly dependent on how Las Vegas and Houston do as well.
Another game of 2 6-4 teams. The 2 last teams in the rankings. 10 teams make the playoffs. They're the 9th and 10th seed. Well, Houston is currently winning as Nickens completes a pass for negative yardages and calls a timeout. Houston is pretty much wrapped up a win against New Orleans. So New Orleans losing puts them to 6-5. Las Vegas has a chance to jump into an automatic qualifier spot with a win today. 3rd and 11 on the field from the OKC 31-yard line, a minute 28 to go. Nickens fires, intercepted, and that will end the ball game. He's been close to throwing a pick all game, and he finally threw one. It was intercepted by Junior Stanley.
This just right here was just a poor pass. He just understood his receiver, and it just went straight to him.
And now with no timeouts left, Tulsa is just going to come out in the best formation in football, the victory formation for the last minute and 22. Levant, can I get your thoughts on the playoff picture going into the end of the 11th week and into the last week of the season?
So the team in the hunt that has the most riding on how other teams do besides Vancouver is Atlanta. They have the strength of victory tiebreaker over Vancouver, but how Las Vegas does and how Houston does right now, considering that Houston is winning, really puts them in a very difficult spot. So the team that needs most help from outside teams probably won't be getting any this week.
Atlanta is on their bye week. They do not play this week, and so they're going to probably have to win and have other things go their way next week. There's a 2-second difference between the play clock and the game clock, so they're going to have to snap it one more time. But final thoughts on this game, Levant, as we wrap things up here from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
It's just, it was looking to be a close game until one team finally decided to turn up the heat and brought the pressure to Oklahoma City, and they just couldn't handle the heat. They were taking sacks all throughout the second half, and that ended up being the main difference maker, because the more possessions Tulsa had, the more scoring opportunities they took and had.
That'll do it. Tulsa takes the 41-24 victory over the Oklahoma City Renegades. They end their season on a high note with a win in front of their home fans. Their defense paves the way to a second half comeback. That'll do it for us in the booth. I have been your play-by-play commentator, Michael Truilo. Joining me has been Levant Mercer. Levant, good afternoon to you. Thank you for a fantastic call. We will see you next time here at the SFL.
See ya.